You see, that's the thing with American business owners and then equity owners, and it gets me excited every time I see this, and I get to see the end of these stuff, getting ahead of people, making sure that you get into the heads of people and then get the best out of situations and then come together and then push for the greater good. That is prime chessboard take from the people who understand exactly how things are supposed to be done. Seriously, this is exactly how things are supposed to be done. Getting ahead of people and letting them know that you understand what you want, take what you want, and not being offensive, not taking advantage of anybody. But when you get what you want, when you understand and you get the best out of the situation that you want to be in, then you even join the bandwagon, because yeah, everybody wants you to join the bandwagon, especially when you are being described as clueless and not knowing exactly what everything is about. Hi, my name is Fiifi-Manfred. This is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing me on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, you should subscribe to the channel now. Yes, pause the video, go back, subscribe to the channel, then come back. Let's have a conversation, because I have something very, very juicy for you in the conversation that's going on now. So this came from, again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe before we go on, and turn on notification. Just do turn on. I want to hear from you. Tell me what you think about this video. First of all, now, about a few hours ago, the Premier League broke the story, and the story reads: Premier League shareholders agree a new 5-year maximum amortization of player registration costs. That is the header. Premier League shareholders. So essentially, the shareholders are the clubs in the English Premier League. Now, this is exactly what they have done. They have agreed a new 5-year amortization for the cost of player purchase. Now, I'll read part of it to you, then I'll tell you why Chelsea's owners are the best guys. Now, say shareholders agree amend the rule on amortization of player registration costs to bring it in line with UEFA's regulation. Premier League shareholders today agreed to amend the rule of amortization of player registration costs to bring it in line with UEFA's registration. Going forward, a 5-year maximum will apply to all new or extended player contracts. Clubs also approve a rule of amendment to enable the Premier League board, in circumstances where a club owes a transfer debt to a Premier League club or UEFA club, stop the club from registering more players until the outstanding payment has been made. The board can also have the option to deduct the amount on the club's entitlement to the league's central fund. Now, so the shareholders of the Premier League are essentially the owners of the clubs, or the various clubs, the representatives of the clubs. Now, they have these annual meetings where they go in there and discuss exactly how they want things to be run in the Premier League. And of course, that's exactly how almost every entity in the world runs, every business in the world runs, where board members, shareholders come together and then they discuss how things are supposed to be done going forward. Now, if you remember, in UEFA had amortization, and amortization essentially is spreading the cost of a player over the number of years that they sign a contract. So if you buy, say, Mihailo Mudryk for £18 million, and then you give him a contract of 8 years, it means that over 8 years you can amortize it, and it means that each year on your books you pay, or you account for, only 10 million if you've amortized it over the 8-year period, which is very, very important in terms of accounting. And it helps these teams in balancing their books. It's also a way where a lot of the teams used to maneuver FFP, because if I bought a player for 80 million, you come onto my books, it's just 10 million that is in there. So it was a smart way in dealing with it. But UEFA scrapped that, and UEFA said that you can't amortize a player for more than 5 years. It has to be just 5 years, because people were taking advantage of it and they were giving players longer contracts. In fact, the one person or the one team that has taken a lot of advantage, of this so much in recent times has been Chelsea's Todd Bowley and Baghdad Debali. When they came in, they realized that they have a young squad. They want to sign them for long periods. When they do, they want to amortize so that they are not caught in the web of FFP and whatnot. So they did a brilliant job in making sure that when they sign players, they give them long contracts and they amortize over those years. At the time, it wasn't illegal, or the Premier League shareholders had not sat down to make it a legality or an illegality actually in the Premier League. So they took advantage of it and then they got a job done. You recall that there were a lot of times that lots of the clubs in the English Premier League had problems with Chelsea taking advantage of this, and people had called that Chelsea should be stopped in their tracks. One of the things that the article actually didn't put out as part of the deed is that the deals that have already been signed, this thing doesn't go back to negate it. So if Chelsea have already done that with Mouhailo Modric or the other players that they bought, it doesn't negate it now. But in future sales, Chelsea cannot do that, which makes sense. But now, let me tell you why Chelsea's owners are the most brilliant you will get in the running of football in English Premier League. I mean, these are owners that a lot of people have called clueless. These are owners that people have called that they don't know what they are doing and they are just throwing their money to get away. And every day when I see this, and I just laugh. There is no way an equity expert is a clueless man. Nobody. The world's best equity people who even have the Saudi investment fund in their equity and they manage stuff for them. You call them jokes. You call them people who don't know what they're about. Maybe you do not know what you're about, because really these guys know exactly what they're about. Now, ideally, somebody will say that if you use that loophole and you want to use that loophole, you still want to sign young players and give them long contracts, then why is it that when you went for the shareholders meeting, you vote that no, you don't want it to be cancelled? You still want to go the old path? Because out of the 20 clubs in the English Premier League, 15 of them voted in favor that Chelsea, the English Premier League, should go according to UEFA and have just 5 years amortization. I think 2 of them or 3 of them were absent, and then the rest voted against it. Now, this is where the breaking news is. The breaking news is that Chelsea's owners are part of those who voted in favor that what they benefited from should be cancelled. What they benefited from should be cancelled. And for me, that is brilliant stuff, because, see, they are taking advantage. They've bought most of their players, especially first-team players. They've signed them long ago, especially when the deal doesn't negate what has been done in the past. Then it's okay, fine. Go ahead. Let's cancel it. But when we cancel it, we go on. You can't buy players for that match. We have already bought our players for that match already. We won't even buy any player for that match. It is 4K chess. Next level chess from Tonboli and Baghdad and Bali, by being brilliant and getting ahead of the curve and making sure that nobody enjoys from the same cup or pots that they have enjoyed from. They enjoy, and for me, they have just outsmarted everybody. The other shareholders in English Premier League, they have outsmarted them and they have been ahead of the curve. Yes, this means that also Chelsea's next purchases are most likely not going to be young players. They are going to be experienced players, because now you can't really sign young players and give them long contracts. And no old player who is like in 25, it's not going to be ideal to give a 25-year-old a 5-year contract, because if you do that, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. This guy will just stay there and be old and be enjoying his contract, and maybe at some point he may not even be needed at the club. So the club will not even want to do that. Again, no player also in their 23s, 24 would want to come and take such a deal for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, until when they're like 31 at the club. They will not want that. Yes, stability is good, but they would also want to control their future, have a say in their future, and it's important that these players aren't going to do that. So it's very important, and looks as if Chelsea want to go and add some more experience with respect to where they are now as a team, and they want to add more experience, more steel, more bites, much more level-headedness with some older players, and it's important. But really, they have outsmarted it. You know, when this thing came out, people started saying, "Oh, Chelsea have been dealt a huge blow." They said that they have exploited the loophole. Yes, they exploited the loophole, and they closed it. They helped you. You helped them close it so that you do not enjoy again. Because people actually thought that Chelsea were going to do that the whole time, but they had a plan. They knew that this was going to happen. They knew that the loophole would be closed at some point in time. So let's get it done now, and then we help them close it. But that doesn't mean that Chelsea are not even going to sign young talent. They will amortize it over 5 years. Amortization over 5 years is not bad stuff. They'll just get that done. Be patient, wait for openings, and then get the most important thing out of these players. And the rationale behind doing stuff like this is to keep players at their prime, and then make sure that you have a huge say in their possible sale if they want to move. And it is very, very imperative. But oh boy, Feliciano, Baghdad, Bali, Torboli, they have been spot on in everything that they have shown at Chelsea Football Club and how they've navigated this stuff and how they got things done. Yeah, guys, my name still remains Fiifi-Manfred. This is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. This is why I draw the curtains on today's edition of everything that's going on in here. If you're not subscribed, do what to subscribe and turn on your notification. I will see ya.